obviously, consequence of our campaign, we arrived on the last match with the obligation to win, but with an open scenario that we're going to fight for. So preparation has been normal, no expected last moment issues or losses, so availability is as we predicted. We approach the game in the way we think we have to do. Obviously, preparing different scenarios that can happen throughout the match. Our intention is very clear. Our demand is also very clear. We are up to the task, and that's what we're gonna do from the first minute up to the last one for sure.
Thank you very much, Coach. Arthur, just from your side, from a player's perspective, preparations for tomorrow's match, please.
Responde em português para mim. Percebeste? Eu vou traduzir tudo. Sim. Faz conta que tu não percebeste, que é para demorar mais tempo. Basicamente, o que ele perguntou foi sobre a preparação, o processo de preparação do jogo.
A gente tem, é claro que é um grande jogo, é uma decisão, mas a gente se prepara todas as partidas iguais para sempre fazer o melhor e tentar sempre ganhar. E essa é mais uma partida que a gente se preparou para ganhar e com certeza vamos ganhar.
It's a big game, obviously. Big games, big players, big moments, big excitement. Everything comes along. And preparation has been done in the right way. Everybody's committed. And we just expect, obviously, that we can have a lot of energy also from the outside. We gather energy and we go along with the match and we go strong.
Thank you, Arthur. Colleagues, it's your opportunity to ask questions. Your name as well as your publication, please. We don't have any questions. Okay, there's a question here.
Coach, Coach, it's a very crunch game, so to say, for Mamelodi Sundowns, and it finds itself in a very precarious situation where they are not, they don't know whether they're first or second, but they have to win. Does this bring a sense of perhaps uncomfortability and a bit of nerves heading into this game?
Oh, look, I understand your question, but no extra nerves. I think we all remember last year we had a match to play, also to qualify. Of course, that in last year draw was enough, but no one plays for draws. Who plays for draws usually loses. So we just need to be with the obligation to play the game from the first up to the last minute, because whatever result we would bring or we would need, the attitude should be the same with nothing change on it. I don't think there's extra nothing, neither on the approach that we had on the match, neither on the commitment to win it. We just want to arrive on the end of the match and get the result, and for that we need to fight in the right way.
Thank you, Coach.
Traveling with the company's 24. Coach, in your last presser in Lubumbashi, you said, and I quote, "I hope that the opponent doesn't guess or know how we're going to play. I hope that's also controlled so we make a fair game on our side." Where was that coming from, and has anyone at Sundowns been leaking information to opponents?
Look, obviously I understand the purpose of your question, and it would be better to make it directly. Please, if you have any questions, you can make them directly. But as you know, there is a pending process occurring inside the club, and when these kind of situations are happening, obviously no one should speak about it, and in order to preserve as much as possible the situation, and that's not the subject for here. It's obviously not the direction of our thoughts in the moment. Our thoughts in the moment are absolutely concentrated on the preparation of the game. Nothing disturbed our preparation. We were strong to make the preparation in the right way. We were highly committed. The team is very focused on what we have to do. We are all together. I think this was even a very important week for us to renew energies and commitment, and that's the way we're going to face the game. This is the only question that is important today, that is on the table for us.
So the first part of my question was, where was that coming from?
As I said, there's a process going on, and I'm not supposed to speak about nothing, so just that.
Okay. There's a question here from Ravi. Thank you, Coach.
Yes, Coach Benina here. I would just like to ask Coach, Sundowns has, in the last 10 years or so, not been a team that struggles to qualify for the knockout phase. Most of the time, qualifying with a game or even 2 games to spare. What would you say have been the challenges that lead to Sundowns going to the final day not assured of a top 8 spot?
Look, I think your question is quite fair. I don't think it's precise, your information. I think last time that the club stayed out of in the group stage was 2018. So not 10 years, huh? It's less than that. So it's how many years? 8, 7. So anyway, that will not happen, and it's important. The same situation. Look, after 2 matches, we had 4 points. So it was quite clear that we were in the right path, in the right way. I remember first press conference we had here after the match with Lupopo home, that I said that it would be very important to get those 3 points. But it's also clear that we had matches that we should have finished them and made the points in order to be obviously in a more comfortable, and probably we would have been already qualified. I remember also we were here together. The home match with Al Hilal was really the match that we had all the conditions to take it to the end and win it. Unfortunately, and that was already more than spoken, we didn't collect the 3 points. I think that in Hilal away we were not strong. I think it was the weakest match that we did in the competition, 100%. There are reasons for that is not to be spoken here. Several, and for sure from different angles. But I think in Lupopo we made a very strong game in a very hard. It's much harder when you are there and you understand than when you look on the TV and think about how it could be. Even myself, I just understood it after being there. And we knew that it would be very important to overcome the first half without conceding any goal, because we know these kind of teams, they have a lot of energy on the first halves and they can operate better on them. But you saw also how we conceded in the misfortune action where we ourselves put the ball in a forward and we conceded. But we had a fantastic attitude towards the end, and naturally in a game like that you had scored a second goal and win. So unfortunately we didn't, and we need to win tomorrow. So normal situation, not the one we would like to be, but fighting until the end is what characterizes the attitude of people in this club, and that's what we're going to do, fight until the end. I think it's very important that tomorrow, and I leave already a strong message for our people, that this stadium lives the true spirit of the club, that the word we carry in our shirts goes from our shirts to the stands, and from inside the pitch to outside, and from the stands up to inside the pitch. Ubuntu is really a value that tomorrow we need to have, one for all and all for one, and that we understand that who is playing represents the fans. The players want to play well and get a result to please the fans, but we want that emotional also to proceed. There has been a lot of misinformation on the social media, and I don't follow social media. If you're going to see from all of you, I think I don't follow any of you. And I avoid on social media, but of course my assistants and people from the club responsible for that brief me on some things, and there's a lot of misinformation, a lot of manipulation. I'm not saying it's from you, whatever, please don't take me wrong, it's not personal. But there is people speaking things that don't exist, people speaking things that never anyone thought or did, people speaking things that is just presumption. And it seems that there's a nice expression that I like: when the weapons are armed, disappears. And I think that's a lot of what has been happening. As I always said to you, inside the club we are strong, we are committed, we are protected and protecting, and most of all we are so 100% focused on football. That's what we have to do, and nothing will take us from that path. And really I believe that tomorrow we'll have our people with us fully. We need, and that is the really spirit of Mamelodi Sundowns, that raised from nothing, that sustained highly when the values were lived, and we need to live our values so that we can overcome the moments of more difficulty, but we still can do a lot of beautiful things, to do and to live this season for sure.
Thank you, Coach. Azola? The mic, please.
Greetings, Coach.
Excuse me, can you pass the mic to Mazola?
Hi, Coach. Mazola from SABC Sport. Do you mind maybe giving some examples of the misconceptions and maybe fake news, if you like, so that we have a clear idea maybe what you are referring
Okay,
to?
no problem.
And just how different do you think tomorrow's game is going to be different to the first leg? I think it was in December.
One simple thing, for example, saying that this week the coaches or the club took the social media of the players. How is it possible to think that is true? Just go to see where that comes from. I don't know, because I just heard, there's things that I just heard because I don't see. Telling that there are well, one example is enough. It's enough.
Maybe one more.
One more, yeah. For example, telling that the person involved on everything, because I heard the name, was an analyst. No, he was my assistant coach, so he was also assistant coach, being present on every training session, on every meeting preparation, on every team meeting, on every pitch training session. So there are a lot of misinformation, but some of them come from really not. You don't live the inside of a club, so it's normal that there's lack of information, but also other that you don't have to have. Or you, when I speak you guys, it's not. But mostly you need to understand that it's clear that we are a strong club. It happens in most of the strong clubs that are played not only inside the four lines, but outside. And it's up to us to really have the right mindset to deal with the pressure. Look, 52% of South African people use social media more than 7 hours per day. That's a stats. It's unbelievable. So it's one of the country that has highest levels of social media exposure. So there's a lot of consumption of social media events. So there's a lot of production also. And it's up to us to understand what we want to live or what you want to be influenced by. That's why I was following you, several of you, when I came in South Africa, and I took out, because I don't want to be influenced myself and my players and the relation with my people. Look, you should understand that all of us, besides our job, we are also family people. We also have a mama, papa, wife, kids, and we ourselves are family. So we need to protect our family, and we protect each other hard. And that's why I speak for our fans to protect us, because we need to be protected. We represent the club, and we love the club, and we have a lot of love. And South Africa is about love. That's what brought this society to a different path, love. And it's important that that value of love that we have in the club, that is not forgotten, but is inherited, lived, and expressed, so that we can succeed, because people need to perform, need to have stability, emotional stability, and that is my job to protect. That's also why I think that this club is special, so special, and I feel so proud to be part of it, because it's true. I never saw a club living love in such a way that Sundowns does. And that keeps us together and makes us overcome the difficult moments, and that's what we expect to do tomorrow with the support of our people, so that we make not only Mamelodi Sundowns fans happy, but everybody in South Africa, because we represent South Africa in this moment in the competition.
Hello, coach. Petit Pro from competition and Algerian media. I'm gonna ask my question in French because it's easier.
S'il vous plaît.
Vous avez affronté le Media donc fin novembre, mais c'est une équipe qui s'est transformée un peu depuis. Ils sont sur 2 buts par match sur les 2 derniers matchs. Ils ont l'air d'avoir retrouvé leur efficacité offensive. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui vous inquiète?
Merci beaucoup pour la question.
If I can just allow for translation.
Please, as you want.
You can just project your voice.
Played Mamelodi Alger in November. Since then, they've been so good playing, scoring 2 goals per game. Are you scared of that?
Well, what the gentleman said is that this team was transformed. Je dois répondre premier en français ou en anglais?
En français d'abord pour lui.
Ok. Donc, ce que tu m'as questionné, c'est que cette équipe s'est transformée un peu du moment qu'on a joué en novembre, oui. Jusqu'au moment, c'est vrai. C'est vrai. Pas seulement parce qu'il y a l'intégration des joueurs qui n'étaient pas priorité, on peut dire, à ce moment-là. Donc, ça a pris Tu veux que j'arrête ou après?
Let the coach translate.
No, I'm saying, coach, you can finish in French and then do it in English.
Yes.
Ok. Donc, je crois que vraiment, c'est une équipe qui a des détails qui sont différents. Ce sont des détails qu'on doit comprendre, qu'on doit étudier. Le match ici, c'est pas un match, l'autre match là. On avait une stratégie. MC Alger, Mamelodi, ils ont utilisé une autre stratégie. Le match de demain, c'est un match vraiment différent. Seulement parce que le contexte est différent, mais je suis 100% d'accord. On voit une équipe qui a des comportements sur le terrain qui sont différents. Donc, à nous, c'est comme je t'ai dit, on a bien étudié l'équipe, comprendre d'où elle vient et où elle veut aller, comprendre tous les détails pour qu'on puisse le contrôler le plus possible. Basically, what he asked me was that this team suffer, so Mamelodi, MC Alger, that suffers some transformation throughout these 2 months. It's true. This team has some dynamics that are different from what they had in the recent past. So the team that we played is a different team, because also there's integration of some new players, but there's some new dynamics on the team. It was up to us to understand it. How they can aggress us, we can or we should work to aggress them. But a different match, not only by the context, but indeed because MC Alger suffered a transformation that had to do also with the integration of new players that came on the team that are quite key players in the moment, and players that were not playing that were integrated. So when also you bring new players, you bring new dynamics and new behaviors in the pitch. That's true. Merci pour la question.
From the gentleman in black there. Do you have a question?
Yes, just wanted to.
Okay. Let's take Nick and then Lorenzo.
Good morning, Coach, or good afternoon, Coach. And my question is for the player. Just obviously with what's at stake and it being a very large knockout game, are these the kind of challenges that you personally as a player live up to, and what do you think we can expect from you come tomorrow?
Um jogo grande, obviamente que se espera muitas coisas dos jogadores. O que é que de facto eles podem esperar em termos da nossa equipe?
A gente se prepara o ano inteiro para jogar jogo grande. Quando chega esses tipos de jogos, são onde o verdadeiro grande jogador aparece, onde verdadeiros times grandes aparecem. Eu acho que a gente tem que mostrar o quão grande é a gente. A partir do momento que a gente entrar no campo, no primeiro minuto, a gente demonstrar o time que a gente quer performar, e eu acho que é uma partida que a gente quer, é uma partida que a gente espera todo o tempo.
Well, basically, these are the matches that players want to play more. Everybody wants to be exposed to high-level matches, and this is one of them. Obviously, we all know what is in stake, but the most important thing is that there's no sense on having will if you don't have courage. So what you need to be brave and courageous is courageous tomorrow. And that also have obviously a strong mind, but excited to play these games and trying to for sure concentrate on what is in stake and try to bring the best possible individually and collectively so that we can overcome an opponent that has quality.
Okay, Lorenzo.
A question to Arthur. Obviously, when Lucas left under Claudia at Sundowns, a lot was expected. People were looking at you to step up in his place, being a Brazilian, high-profile signing, left-footed forward as well. Do you think that you've played to your expectations this season? And how important is it to step up in big games like this where they need big players?
Percebeste? Basicamente, depois de sair o Lucas, esperava-se o aparecimento de outros jogadores que pudessem substituir aquilo que ele trazia, e tu tens que referir que melhoraste, é isso que tens que dizer. Estás melhor e que há muitos jogadores na equipa que podem, coletivamente, é que temos que funcionar.
Eu escutei também falar muitas vezes, até o próprio coach falou, eu escutei também, nenhum jogador veio para substituir o outro, nenhum jogador é igual ao outro. E é claro, quando você vê um jogador como o Lucas, você quer aprender coisas com ele, você quer estar no nível que ele estava. Feliz de ter melhorado, de chegar perto e de querer estar melhor, porque ele era um amigo, era um jogador exemplar também. Mas eu acho que nenhum jogador consegue ser igual, nenhum jogador consegue ser a mesma coisa que o outro, sabe? Claro que as expectativas aumentam, mas a gente tem grandes jogadores no elenco e se cada jogo um tiver como o Lucas, já tá importante, já é bom. E é isso que eu acredito. Eu acho que os individual jogadores são importantes, mas um coletivo forte também é muito importante pra gente.
Well, basically, what Arthur said is something that is clear for everybody. I think I stated that also in the past, that no one in this club had expectations to succeed to Lucas. There's no succession, it's not exactly that. It's basically just a player that will play on his post, that will bring his own characteristics inside the pitch. If we would lose any other player on the team, eventually similar sense could happen. Of course, that Lucas had impact on the team, but I think that I became better, he said. He became better. It's clear that I stepped up also. He stepped up also during the season. But for him, the most important thing is that if not him one day, to be another one, Tashrik, Nuno, Akutluan, Tsiki, whoever rises and helps the team, because in the end, it's always a collective process where obviously the good players should embrace the team, or the best players should embrace the team, as the team should embrace the best players. That's it.
Thank you, Arthur. We'll take the last question, colleagues, so that we can close it off. Mr. Ngiti. I think just project your voice.
You spoke about that there's been information this week.
Again.
So, would it not help for the club to communicate and dispel the misinformation? Because, for instance, you made a cryptic accusation in Lubumbashi, and there's been no formal explanation on the matter, which has prompted.
Look, you. Sorry, but please.
There's been no official communication of that cryptic message that you made explicitly that you're not going to talk on it, but at some point you explain the job detail of the analyst who said, in dispelling the misinformation, would it not be helpful for the club to communicate and not necessarily speak and critique?
I just spoke about that, about the person that you said, because I wanted people to understand that I didn't treat him bad because I read that I treated him bad. And that is not true. I gave him a lot of love, consideration, and promotion. That's just what I wanted to clarify, nothing more. Otherwise, I would not have spoken that. I just need to also make you understand that I have a character and I'm a very vertical as a person. And I don't treat people bad. Because I don't want the fans from Sundowns to think that I'm any tyranno and I don't treat with maximum respect everybody in Clorco, because I do. That was just because of that, I clarified that. Regarding the club position, it's not up to me. With all the respect, I respect too much my club to answer your question. You must not need to understand. The club also understands very well that it's a process. For sure, in the right moment, the club will speak. But the club knows when to speak. There's a lot of people with a high level of responsibility and commitment that knows very well how to do the things. We need to do the things the right way. And in Sundowns, we do the things the right way. That's it.
Coach, thank you very much. Colleagues, that brings us to the conclusion. Coach and Arthur,